Hello everyone, welcome back to part 2 of the modification of my Harbor Freight axe. Okay, so in the last episode I finished up the axe head, and I said I was going to order an axe handle, and I got this one, and I'm going to go through the pros and cons of this handle. So I ended up finding it in a hardware store that was about 2.5 hours from me. And I was looking online, and that place had it for the least amount of money and the least amount of shipping. But when I called the store, they said, because they had like a multicolored one that was listed on site, I really didn't want that. I wanted, pretty much blonde like this. And they said they had one in the store and that they would ship it to me for $2.50, and it was just a little under $8 for the handle. So I jumped on that. It came in 2 days, so that's a pro. The grain looks nice. Again, I'm not an expert on axe handles. You got to go see Jamie at Journey North, and Rock over at Rock of Ages USA, and plain old Chuck. Those guys, they know what they're doing when they're hanging axe heads. But I'm learning. So it looks like it's got really nice straight grain, which is desirable. It's pretty smooth. It doesn't have a finish on it, which is an advantage. So I'm happy with that. Now, the cons. Hopefully that shows up. Whoever drilled that, cut that kerf in there, that's way off. It's supposed to be right down the center. I don't think that it'll matter at the end of it all, but yeah, that must have been after a 3-day weekend, and the guy was drinking a lot. I'm pretty sure that's done by hand. I don't think a machine would have done that, because it would have been indexed, because it's pretty straight. So hopefully that won't matter. And then the other thing I don't like is it's pretty loose. I could just go like this and get it on pretty far. So I would have liked to seen it thicker and a little wider here. But I'm going to go ahead and get this on. And if I don't like it, if it doesn't fit good, I'm out about $10. But I'll probably be able to use it for something else if I don't destroy it taking it off. So now I'm going to show you how to properly hang this head. So let me reposition this camera a little bit, and I'll show you what to do. All right. So the proper way to do this is get it started, okay, and then you're going to hit the bottom of here while you're holding this, preferably with a wooden mallet, but this is all I got. I got to make a wooden mallet. So you're going to do that, and that's going to drive the head up. As you can see how much it already came up. So I'm going to do that until I get a good fit on the bottom. Make sure I'm not splintering out any wood over here, and I'll bring you back and show you what that looks like. All right, so I got it on. It's a very, very nice fit on the bottom. I drove it on and off twice and cleaned up like what started to splinter over here. So I very carefully with sandpaper did that. Now I got my wedge, and obviously I'm not going to be able to get that all the way in there. So I just made a new wedge out of maple that's a little longer, but I'm still not going to get it in there. The kerf goes down probably to about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim off about a quarter of an inch off of this. And then for putting the wedge in, it's pretty simple. I'm going to use glue. Some people don't use glue, but I'm going to use glue. I'm going to put the wedge in, and then the debate is to use a steel pin or not, a steel wedge. So this would go in this way, and then this would go in this way. And then another debate is whether to cut it flush or to leave a little bit sticking up. So I haven't come to that yet, but I like the way it came out. This is going to be perfect. Hopefully this crooked kerf isn't going to matter too much. And then we'll fix up the handle with some oil, and we'll be good to go. We'll test it out. All right, so let me get the, again, you're just going to put some glue. You're going to put this in. tap it in, turn it like this, and then hit it from the bottom. So I shall be back once that wedge is in. All right, so I got the handle on. I'll tell you what, it's a really good fit. Really good. I didn't go totally flat, but I got pretty close. And the last thing is whether or not to use a steel wedge. And I'm going to opt not to. I did a lot of reading about it while I was waiting for the handle to come in, and there's a lot of debate on whether these are needed in a small type, camp axe. And I know, actually, I was reading something from that Gransford Rook site that they said they actually discontinued putting the steel wedge in their some of their axes and stuff because they found over the years that it really didn't do anything. They left them out for a couple years and no ill effect. The heads never came loose, and I ended up using my own maple wedge that I made, and I got it going down probably 3/4 of the way down, and this thing is in there tight. And I'll tell you what, I'm really digging it. Got a little oil on there, but handle feels nice. I could choke up on it. I'll tell you what, it's pretty balanced. I don't know if I could get the exact balance point, but I mean, look at that. So when I grab it here, it feels so good, which we're going to test in a little while. So the last thing, or this next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some True Oil on it because I don't have any boiled linseed oil. And I don't want to put a polyurethane, so I'm going to put a coat or two of this on because I use this for gun stock, so it should be fine. When this dries, we'll be back. All right, so it's the next day. It's a little cloudy out today, and we're getting some rain, which we desperately need here. But it's all done. I like the way it came out. So that didn't matter. Filled it in nice. Feels nice. I can choke up on it great. And hopefully this rain is going to hold off so we can show it to you in action. But before we do, I want to show you one thing. All right, so I had to add some leather to this project. So I made a handle guard. I got this idea. I saw plain old Chuck had put one on an axe that he modified, and I loved it. So I made that out of leather, did a leather lace on it, and then I have my blade cover. And what I did with this finish here was I took some saddle tan and I took some black and a little bit of water and I mixed them together, and then I left that overnight to kind of settle because sometimes the pigment settles down towards the bottom, and I didn't stir it the next day, and I just kind of dabbed it on. I did one one coat over everything, and then I used a heat gun and I set it in, and then I kind of dabbed it and then set that in with the heat gun. And I really like the finish. I was going for like an old-timey kind of, hey, that's not really new leather kind of thing. But I think I got it, I got some just regular wax on there, shoe polish wax like I always use. And, it's got some where you open it, it gets a little faded and stuff, and I'm really digging it. So hopefully this rain will hold up, and I could get outside, and we could see this in action. Let me give you a close-up. So there she is. All right, let's get over to the stump and do some chopping. All right, so the rain is holding up. It's a little cloudy. Hopefully this comes out okay. But one of my jobs when I was working with my dad, and my dad was pretty much a general contractor, a carpenter, a mason, diesel engineer, you name it, my dad did it. Was to take sticks like this and to make stakes out of them to hold the forms for concrete. So let's test her out. Oh yeah. So we can make a stake. Let's see how well we can get some bark off of this piece of oak. Oh yeah, look at that. Nice. Look at this chunk of fat wood. I mean, this is jam-packed. Let's see if we can get some of the outer part off. And this stuff is hard as a rock. Look at that, huh? Nice. Let's try a little bigger thing. Let's see how we could split that. I'm at an awkward position here, but let's see what happens. Whoa! That was easier than I thought. Alright, let's see if we can make some kindling. No problem. So there she is, folks. I'm very, very pleased with it. I love the way it looks. I love the way it works. Choke up on it. Oh, there it is. I really appreciate everyone coming along with this. Hopefully it inspired you to try something like this. I'll tell you what, I don't think I would have been happier with you know, $180, $200 bushcrafting axe than I am with this one that I made myself. And hopefully it inspires you to try something like this. And again, thanks to my brothers, Plain Old Chuck and Jamie and Rock, for the inspiration with all the work that they've done on axes and hatchets and stuff. So like I always say, everyone, and I really, really mean, I appreciate your views. I appreciate all your comments, and I hope you're all staying safe and healthy. And we'll see you on the next one.